What the hell is up, you fucking cunts? This is episode 60 of Resident Bummer. Your host, the Fulcrum, well, he has even more shit to read this week. Get ready. It's about to arrive. By the way, episode 59 is going to be the 60th episode ever released. Just thought I would remind you. Also, I have a new check that I'm going to do in the intro. I used to just do a health check. Now, I'm going to split it, and we're going to do a mental health check and a physical health check, along with the motivation check, which I guess can maybe kind of tie into the mental health check, but whatever. We're going with that, and I guess that means I need to give a score out of 10 for my mental health. Right now, my mental health is probably like 7 out of 10. We're doing okay. Physical health, currently, even better, like a 9, probably. Let's see, motivation check. I'm actually quite motivated. I just pulled in I didn't pull into the driveway, but I walked up to the driveway and opened the garage door, and there's nobody else here, so I can fucking talk as loud as I want to, which is nice. Always enjoy that. I guess it's just time to read the journal now. So we're going to start with Friday, March 13th. The first entry in my journal is set 60, day 1, 10:55 p.m. I wake up, or that's supposed to be a.m., I think. 10:55 a.m., excuse me. I wake up, shit, shower, shave, and get ready to edit the podcast. 12:45 a.m., I get it all edited and set to upload. Then I keep playing some more Cyberpunk. Question mark for this entry's time. Until I play Cyberpunk, until Penny joins. Yay. I turn my mic on and I start talking with her. She watches my Cyberpunk stream, and I comment that if I open my inventory, it will show my character on the screen, and I didn't tell her this part, but I knew that my character would be completely naked with her tits and her dick out, which is nice. As soon as I say that, I make a small comment. I'm like, Penny, if I open my inventory and you see something you don't want to, I'm sorry. And she's like, well, now you have to show me. So I open it up, and I'm not going to lie, I am surprised that she was so willing to accept some more nudity after, I think it was a day or two before this, where she had, she's a musical therapist, so, excuse me, I'm stumbling over my words. She is a musical therapist, so she meets with different clients. Well, I'm sure that there's some overlap. She meets with some of the same clients every week. But there was one client, or I definitely don't want to use the word customer. That's a weird delineation to make. But one of her clients, like a 14-year-old kid, a 14-year-old guy, I guess, male, decided to just, like, in the middle of their session, just whip his penis out and start jerking off from the sounds of it, which is not fun. Not something you want to do to somebody else. Yeah, let's see, I'm trying to find my place in my journal. Anyways, Penny leaves at some point. She finds it funny. She starts laughing as soon as she sees my character. And then a little bit after that, she takes off to make some lunch, I think is what she said she was going to do. And so I keep playing Cyberpunk until she joins back. Maybe like an hour or two later, if memory serves. I cannot remember where I was at in Cyberpunk, but I'm a little bit further in, doing a bunch of side stuff. I try and complete all of the side missions before I do any main missions. I just kind of want to see as much of the game as possible. It's really fun. I'm enjoying my playthrough quite a bit. It absolutely, it just like completely redirected me away from Persona. I'm sorry, Penny. I'll have to get back on the Persona train after I finish up Cyberpunk. Let's see. She joins back into the chat. I do start up a stream on my laptop before she joins the voice channel I think she messages me and she's like, I'm down to watch some stuff if you are. And I was like, yes, fuck yeah, let's watch some Hunter x Hunter. And, excuse me, we watched I think it was 3 episodes. It might have been 4, but I'm pretty sure we got through episode 25, 26, and 27. Oh man, that might be completely wrong, but it sounds right, so I'm going to go with it. We end our session after meeting the characters Zushi and Wing in the tower that they're all training at. Gon and Killua meet Zushi and Wing, and that's where we end it. Penny hops off for the day after that. Always a pleasure to make her acquaintance. She also mentions later that she joined a server and she wants to invite me. In my journal, I said, I can't wait to absolutely fuck this one up too. I don't know. It's been difficult for me to find an in from the different servers that Jack has invited me to. I don't think anybody else has invited me to a Discord server. Maybe ever. I'm trying to think, but it's not really. Oh, no. I had a few like right after high school, I think. There was like 1 or 2 that that I joined, I should say. I'm holding my mouth and it's making my fucking vocals sound shitty, so I'm not going to do that. Let's see. Yeah, Penny lets me know that she wants to invite me to a new server. Maybe with Penny there, I could find an easy in. We'll have to wait and see, though, is what I journaled on this day. I have some more journal entries about that server to come, so be patient, and you will learn. I do stream Cyberpunk basically all day until I do swap to another Discord server and just keep streaming more Cyberpunk. For now, I have largely stopped visiting the newest Discord server. I don't know if that picked up on the mic. I forgot to turn off my fucking my Wonder Boom or whatever it's called speaker. It just automatically shut off and made a noise. I'm sure that picked up on the audio, so that's fucking great. Let's see. Yeah, there's a server that Jack invited me to. I want to say, I think it was like, I can't remember what part of the way through the week it was, but I think it was like a week or 2 ago, and I definitely talked about it in the journal. So it's that newest server that I have joined up until this point, which is Friday, March 13th. Yeah, I haven't really been visiting that newest Discord server I joined. I feel like I've said that 5 times now, so I'm just gonna go on to the next journal entry. I receive an invite to play with that 9-year-old girl that I've talked about here and there. She's in a voice channel with a bunch of other people. Jack, Alex, Kelvin, and a few others. If any of those names mean anything to you. If you're a longtime viewer, they will. Hey. 1:45 a.m. I sit in the voice channel as people leave one by one. Jack leaves very soon after I join. He goes over to that other, like, newest server he invited me to. Yeah, man. Oh. Okay, so at a certain point, there's just a few people, I think it's 4 people in the voice channel. And then somebody mentioned, good Lord, I'm fucking stumbling over myself. Take a couple deep breaths. And I'll say what I'm going to say. One of the individuals that I am in the voice call with mentions the movie Dinosaur, which is a Disney movie. I think it was like one of their first entirely CGI movies. Excuse me. Yeah, I had my mic muted up until this point, but I unmute my mic and I'm just like, somebody just mentioned Dinosaur. That's one of the best fucking movies ever. And they all end up freaking out, or at least one of them does. I think Alex is like, oh my god, I forgot you were here, Fulcrum. And I do mention that I'm going through my Cyberpunk playthrough. I think one of them asks, like, what are you doing right now? because they forgot I was in there. They're like, "What are you up to?" I said, "I'm playing through Cyberpunk right now." And Alex talks to me about her playthroughs. Apparently, Jackie is just a character that always dies in every single playthrough. Sorry for the spoilers for a 6-year-old game. I was going to say 4-year-old game because I thought it was 2024 for some reason. It is not. It's 2026. Although I think, did Cyberpunk release in holiday of 2020? I believe it did. I think so, because I had the physical disc in my hands Christmas of 20... Maybe that was... No, it had to be 2020, because I didn't have my Xbox Series X yet. And I just had the Xbox One version of Cyberpunk. So yeah, I think it did come out holiday of 2020. I could be wrong, though, so feel free to correct me. Yep, Jackie always dies. Sorry for the spoiler. Moving on. 2:05 a.m. Do you remember in episode 0, when I asked... Oh, of the podcast. I should put more context in there. So you know how there's an episode 0 of Resident Bummer, right? And in that episode, I believe not one of the first things, but one of the things I mentioned was like, what am I going to be bringing up on this podcast? I could do movies, I could do games, I could talk about music, I could talk about a bunch of fucking bullshit. And eventually I was like, I could talk about deep philosophical things like, ooh, what is the sound of one hand clapping? There's a quote like that in Cyberpunk. As soon as I heard it, I was like, oh my god. Fuck me. But anyways, 2:30 a.m. One last entry here for the day. My favorite quote in Cyberpunk so far is from Johnny Silverhand. And I don't remember I think the exact quote goes like this. Fuck, I feel like a dog's shit. But it comes out of nowhere, man. I think you're waking up from like a blackout sequence, and like you wake up and look over at Johnny, and he's also waking up, and he's just like, fuck, I feel like a dog's shit. Just something about that line. I don't know, it hits, man. That's it though for Friday, March 13th. I guess we're just going to be moving on to Saturday, March 14th. This is an interesting day. I'm not exactly... I don't even know. I actually don't know what to say. I guess I'll just read it, and then I can reflect after I'm done reading it. Set 60, Day 2. This is, again, Saturday, March 14th. 11:35, I wake up, I shit, I shower, I brush, and I do something kind of questionable. Oh shit. I'm trying to think about how I want to approach this. Because it just makes me look like a weirdo. I guess I'll just dive right into it. So, I sent some horse porn into that new server Jack invited me to. Yeah. Sorry. That's a bit weird, isn't it? Just some horse porn. Why not? Not in Penny's server, by the way. I know I mentioned that she invited me to a server. This is not the server that Penny invited me to. This is the server that Jack invited me to. I'm assuming if I sent that shit into the server Penny invited me to, I would not be in there anymore if I had to guess, and rightly so. I kind of just sent it into the other server to hopefully be done dealing with them. I don't know. We'll get into it. I think there's some more entries that cover this. So, TLDR, I sent some horse porn into a Discord server on the morning of Saturday, March 14th. This will go down as the horse porn incident of 2026, I guess. Just add to my lore. Why not? Moving on, though. 10 p.m. Update. Wait, 10 p.m.? Oh, yeah, okay, 10 p.m. This is 10 p.m. I have an update. Sending that horse porn was a bad idea, but actually, probably a good one in disguise. I don't know. I don't want to get it, because it's when you record yourself saying shit and then you upload it, it's like, man, you can really make yourself look like a fucking tool just by saying the wrong shit. But I guess nothing about anybody in the server seemed pleasurable. So I figured I'd just push the envelope, and one way or the other, I was no longer going to be dealing with them. Does make it easier that Penny just invited me to a server, so it's like, yeah, I think I'm done with this one. I can try out the next one, see how that goes, and if that doesn't work, then, well, I guess I'll just fucking kill myself, huh? No, that's not true. I still cannot consider suicide an option, so there's an update on that front. Well, no update, I guess. We have remained the same. Yeah, I dick around in my room until I change for work. I haven't even gotten to work today. It's like all this shit happens before noon. I drive into work, and then I say hi to Rich and Anna, clock in, then I cook some food basically all day. I ask Jack if he's had any contact with a friend group he once told me about a while ago. I think it was like half a year ago. He mentioned that he went with a friend group to some sort of cosplay, anime, pop culture sort of convention. That's the word I'm looking for. He went to a convention, and he met, I think it was like a group of 3 to 4 people there that he ran into there, and he ended up vibing with them, and apparently they exchanged information, details, and got each other's numbers or whatever, and that's all I had heard up until that point. So like half a year later, I decided to reach out, and I was like, hey, are you hanging out with those pals at this point in time, or did anything come of that? And he was like, I'm paraphrasing here, but he was like, yeah, no, I reached out to one of them and they just never responded, so I kind of wrote them off. And then I was like, hey, you know, what's interesting is that when I first met Penny, we were talking, it was good, it was going good, and then like during the summer of the year that we met, I think, there was like 2 or 3 months where Penny just went radio silent, and I was almost positive I had just royally fucked something up. But that didn't stop me. I just kept sending question after question after question, and eventually the truth came out. Penny was going through a pretty rough breakup, so she had her priorities straightened out. Very honestly, I'm glad that she was focusing on that instead of little old me. There's not really, not really much. How do I want to phrase this? There's not. No, maybe I'll start over. I don't know how to phrase it without sounding too self-deprecating, but it's like, I really shouldn't be a priority. Like, first of all, Penny's just ridiculously busy all the time. Like, her work continuously fucks her over with her schedule, so she always has to be flexible and moving on that. And also, it's just like, I don't want to say I wasn't asking like any important questions or anything like that, but it's like, when you can, get to it, and if you can't, that's fine. I don't know, I feel weird talking about this still, so I'm just going to go on to the next point, I think. 10:20 p.m., Jack said that he hasn't talked to that friend group, yada, yada, yada. I don't think I ever got the conclusion recorded, so I will say that real quick. He reached out a while ago. He reached out to one of the guys that he met. This time he reached out to a different one of them, which apparently was the key to success. It sounds like the other guy responded basically immediately and was like, yeah, let's do something. Let's go hang out. Let's figure out what's happening. Oh, I feel like I need to burp, but I can't. There we go. Oh my god. Ugh. La 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 la. Oh yeah, here's the fun part. While I'm on shift, I noticed that I was booted from that new server Jack invited me to. I tell Jack, and he asks what I did. He's like, "What the fuck did you do?" And I tell him, "Oh no." I told him that I sent some horse porn into the server. Just keep talking about it. Why not? I love it. I mean, I don't know if I'm being honest. I still think it's pretty funny. I don't know. I think that's just me though. Let's see. Oh yeah, okay. So me and Jack get into a pretty long convo while I'm at work, texting back and forth. Pretty much all I can take away from that conversation is that I suck. And I don't know. I'm just, God. It's difficult to describe my exact feelings. I don't know. I guess the easiest way to describe it is I just fucking hate myself. So, there's that, which is nice. Jack is extremely patient and as understanding as he possibly could be with me. But nothing goes through my fucking thick-ass skull. I still feel like I'm a fucking retard. I don't know. It sucks that I am so willing to waste Jack's limited time talking about it. Sort of similar to Penny. I'm not trying to say one of them is busier than the other, but they're both, Penny and Jack are both pretty busy people. They're actually getting their lives started, or at least trying. So, it would be nice if I didn't have to bother them so much. Well, I don't know. It sounds like Penny is pretty adamant that I'm not really bothering her. She'll get to it when she can, and that's that, which doesn't bother me at all. But I think if I don't chill the fuck out, I am scared that Jack might just fucking be done with me. Be done with my crazy ass. I would not blame him either. So, gotta scat real quick till I find my place in the journal. At some point, I clock off of work, get home, and I ask Penny if she is ready for me to join the new server. She says that she is, so I click join. Somebody immediately asks why my PayPal is linked to my Discord account. I tell them that my grind never stops, and I also tell them to feel free to contribute. They immediately call me based, which is epic, and I stream Baldur's Gate 3, invite Penny to my game, and we get playing until somebody joins the voice channel. Penny immediately goes, "Hey, T." That was a bad impression, but I'm not going to try again. This person's nickname is apparently T. I can't imagine that that's their legal name. That would be strange, but also would not judge. It's kind of a cool name. Can't lie. T. I'm just going to go like the letter T is what I've journaled here. So anytime I say T, I'm just saying the letter T, even though I don't know. I don't want to give too many details. So we're just going to leave it at that. This person is nicknamed T. That's what I'm going to call him on the podcast. So after that, lots and lots of people end up joining the server or the voice channel. You know, there's I think at one point there's 9 or 10 people, and there's bits here and there where they interrogate me. They're like, "Who are you? What do you like to play? Where do you work?" Just stuff like that. You know, very 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 lightly interrogating me, and it's pretty non-invasive. Just seems like they're curious, which is nice. I answer all of their questions, hopefully to their satisfaction, and I feel like we all ended up vibing pretty nicely through the night. They asked me to download Marvel's Rivals, or is it Marvel Rivals? Marvel's Rivals? Marvel Rivals. I don't know. So I end up downloading that back to my Xbox, and one person asks me if I'm an artist. Whew. What an interesting question. The only answer I can think to give is to tell them about this fucking pile of dog shit that I'm recording right now. So I do end up telling them. I don't tell them the name. I don't give them any links. I don't do anything like that. I'm just like, I record a podcast, and it's just more of an audio journal than a podcast, really. But I guess an audio journal is a kind of podcast. I don't know. I really don't care. I think you can label it all you want, but it doesn't make it better. Does not make the product higher quality. Yeah, but it's kind of weird. The first night I'm meeting and talking to these people, I'm also telling them about just the stupidest thing I've ever done, I guess. Someone I will be calling Fluttershy catches my attention. At one point, they say that my voice, Fluttershy does, specifically, they say, "Oh, your voice is good for ASMR." And they also, fucking crazy suggestion, but Fluttershy says that I should make a boyfriend ASMR video. And I'm not gonna lie, as soon as they said that, I was honestly sounded like a fucking really funny idea. I think it's going to be my next supplemental episode. I've only made the one, and I certainly don't want to talk about that shit. Fuck me. I can't believe that was the first fucking supplemental episode I recorded. Penny, if you haven't listened to that, please do not. Although I'm guessing you have, so. Uh-oh. Jesus. Makes my fucking skin crawl thinking about that recording. La 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 la. Yeah, I think that's a pretty good idea, though, for what Fluttershy says. I could do a boyfriend ASMR video where I'm like talking to my girlfriend in quotation marks. I don't have a fucking girlfriend. Oh, okay, and then also the match I made on last Friday? I can't remember. I think it was Friday, but there was one night in last week's episode where I went out and I had some sex. And then the same person was just like, "Hey, come have more sex with me." So I was like, all right, I think I could do that. So at 1:55 a.m. are these entries. I think this is after I got home. But at 1:55 a.m., after a while of chatting with the new fam, my new Discord family, I tell them I'm taking off. I do let them know that they should be expecting me back in this server in the future, or at least to be active in the server. I'd leave my house. I arrive to, I think I matched with her on Tinder. That Tinder matches house. And I arrive again, if you know what I mean. Teehee. That means I came. After we have sex, we finish watching Scott Pilgrim. I don't think I journaled this at all, but when I met up with her that last Friday, I don't even know. It's the March 6th, maybe? I'm trying to remember when it was exactly I met this person. But yeah, after we finish up, we head out to the living room. We finish watching Scott Pilgrim because we started watching Scott Pilgrim a week ago. So we finished that up. I think we had like 15 minutes left in the movie. It's a great movie, by the way. If you've never seen Scott Pilgrim versus the World, I would highly recommend at least one watch through of that. And then we, after we finish Scott Pilgrim, we start watching Free Guy with Ryan Reynolds. And I end up leaving like 20 minutes into that, maybe? Oh my god, I'm so gassy this episode. Free Guy, the movie, was actually better than I remembered it being. I watched it a while ago with my parents, I think, in our living room. I'm trying to remember. I don't think we saw that in theaters. It'd be kind of I don't know if that's a theater-worthy movie. It's kind of something you can just watch at home. But anyways, I do cry basically the entire way home, listening to different songs. I get home and crawl into bed after having a bit of a long day. Whew! Started out with horse porn and ended with crying after sex. Yay! Question mark here. At the end of the day, I get some heavy and deep crying done. Some even more crying done while I'm in bed before I eventually drift off into sleep. So that's cool. I'm going to move on now to the next day of entries. This is Sunday, March 15th. Set 60, day 3 at 12:55 p.m. I forgot to mention that before I went to sleep, Penny did message me. Oh, God. I almost just well, I did have an aneurysm, almost. Not like a literal aneurysm, but I was stumbling over my words. Let me try that again. She asked, Jesus Christ, she asked what I thought of the new server, and I told her the truth. I absolutely love them. They went out of their way multiple times to include me in the conversation, and, there's some light bullying between them, light to moderate bullying. Seems like a good place to end up staying. So I think that's what I'll do. I'm very happy she meaning Penny, invited me to it. Also, she has concerns with some of my dialogue from the last episode. I'm assuming it's when I was talking about, Nah, let's keep it in that episode. I think I know exactly what she's talking about, though. She reminds me that I can always reach out if I need to, or if I have something on my mind, or for any reason. There's something that tells me, it's like, God, what? Why? Why, I don't know, I'm trying to figure out how to phrase this too. It's difficult. I feel like I don't deserve to know somebody quite as great as Penny. She's just so thoughtful. I don't know. It's insane how busy she is, but she can still keep making time for, I don't know, seems like all of the people that she cares about, which is just beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. We need more people like her in the world. She doesn't seem to mind knowing me, though, which is dope. Anyways, I wake up. Wait a minute, I hadn't woke up yet? Oh, okay, yeah, this is all just a bunch of pre-nonsense before I wake up. I wake up in the morning, on the morning of Sunday, March 15th, just in case you forgot. I shit, shower, brush, and play a teensy little bit of Cyberpunk. Teensy weensy. That's what I was trying to say, but I just said teensy. I play a little bit of Cyberpunk before I drive into work. At 1:20 p.m., obviously, I change before I leave for work. That would be silly if I didn't do that. Then I say hi to Pierce and Bernard. 2:30 p.m., Bernard leaves and I start cooking with gas, and Pierce was kind of ticking me off today. Somehow he is just always right next to me when I'm looking for some peace and quiet. Just talking to me about some nonsense. He was actually talking about something kind of interesting. So, but anyways, it's just that feeling of me getting pissed off at him. All it is just my inability to properly interact with the world around me. So, still got some work to do. None of this is Pierce's fault. I just wanted some peace and quiet, but he's always there talking to me about this and that. But he did have an interesting piece of lore to dump on me. He said he was talking about one of his friend groups that he met during COVID. So I think like 2020, 2021 is when they started meeting up and gaming. And then fast forward to, I think like a few weeks ago, Pierce hadn't heard anything from one of the members of this friend group. So he went and did some research, or maybe one of the other friends in the group did some research, and they came back and they were like, oh yeah, this guy got fucking arrested for child pornography distribution, and I'm sure there were some other child pornography charges filed against him, or some other, I hope so. I hope he gets everything in the fucking book. It's like, do not touch a kid like that. Fuck off. It's a fucking child. Stop it. Stop it. You don't fuck kids. It's not right. You can fuck horses all day long, though. Oh, shit. God damn. Somebody needs to fucking kill me. Eventually, Pierce does end up leaving at some point in the day, and Rich clocks in. And then I cook a little bit more until 8:55 p.m. Before he left, Pierce asked me what my oh god, this entry. Before Pierce ended up leaving for the day, though, he asked me what my plan was, like where I'm going, where do I want to work, stuff like that. I told him, bear with me, you guys. I told him the most honest answer is I just want to kill myself. But I know that's not an option, and it never will be. So, instead, I am currently just waiting around and seeing what ends up happening to me. Jesus. I haven't heard anything about my full-time application, so who knows if I'm getting that. I have an update on that, by the way. I don't think I journaled it at all, so I'll just slide it in right here. They just ended up hiring like 2 brand new people instead of giving me the full-time position. So I'm still part-time, and yeah, fucking Jesus. I guess, I mean, it's weird. I'm pissed because I want to make more money, and I mean, I don't know if I want more hours, but I should have more hours than like 28 hours in a week. That's not really a full work week. But anyways, that has nothing to do with the rest of these entries. After work, I drive home and play some more Cyberpunk. I do debate on joining Penny in the voice channel. I see that she's in the new server talking with a few other people. But I'm not gonna lie, there's still that. I think with this group it might be a little different, because eventually I did decide to just like hop straight in and be like, hey, what's up everybody, hey. But there's something, I don't know if it's in my brain. There's something that's telling me, it's like, don't fucking bother them until they invite you, Fulcrum. Do not fucking utter a word until you've been invited to the session. So it's like, I've gotten better at that, though, I think, over the past few days, at least. That's been like a big issue for a while now. It's just like, I don't want to fucking bother somebody. If they really wanted me to be there, then they would have already asked. So it's like, I don't know. But then there's also, like, I'm a huge hypocrite on that point, because it's like, if I'm expecting them to invite me, but I'm never inviting people to do things, although I am inviting people to do things, like I invite Penny to watch Hunter x Hunter or play Baldur's Gate. It's like at least once a week, I would say. At least I try. But yeah, if I'm not to a certain level of comfort with somebody, I will most likely just try not to bother them and hope and pray that some fucking some fucking universal force. Wait, is that a shotgun in Destiny? I think that's the name of the shotgun. Universal Force? No, Universal Remote. That's what it was in Destiny 1. Sorry, this is a bit of a tangent. I wish there was some... No, I don't wish there was. There is. There is something like in my fucking gut that tells me that I can't bother people until I know that they want me around. I don't know. I fucking hate talking about this, so I'm just gonna go on to the next entry. Anyways, I'm playing Cyberpunk. I do use a glitch to break into the prologue area of the game. If you've ever played Cyberpunk before, you probably know what I'm doing here. I break into the prologue building to steal an iguana egg. There's also a unique sword and a data pad that I missed throughout the prologue, and some janitor supplies too. That was cool. I really needed those supplies. Oh, excuse me. That's a lie, by the way. I don't think I needed those janitor supplies, but I picked them up all the same. Sometime I will be able to have a pet iguana, which is cool. The egg is eventually going to hatch at some point. I almost said hat. And also, apparently there's a cat somewhere in the game that I can get, which is cool. I never journaled it, so I guess I'll just insert it in here real quick. I did find the cat. I got the cat food, and then I put it in the bowl next to my apartment, and eventually the cat was just chilling. And Johnny was like, "Look at that! It's a cat!" And I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna put that shit in my fucking apartment." Hopefully it's not, I don't know, it might be kind of pissed that it's just like cooped up in the apartment all day now. Kind of seemed like an outdoor cat. Anyways, my main mentality, wait, oh god, this is a really weird switch. Let's see, I'm losing my fucking spot here in the journal. For some reason I just swapped tracks completely. I was talking about Cyberpunk in one entry, and then in the next entry, I took a completely different turn here. I'll just read it off after the little cat journaling. I entered. My main mentality a while ago was that it doesn't really matter what happens to me because I feel like I can take it. I do feel like shit a lot of the time, but I still feel like it's not going to... That's not going to be what does me in, right? Which is good. I do wish I could just be more emotionally stable, I guess, is the easiest way to put it. It fucking sucks just not having a proper grip on your own mind. Anyways, we're moving on. All that shit sucks to talk about, so... 10 p.m., I'm forgetting a lot of stuff today. Actually, after I got home from work, I forgot to enter this into my journal when it happened, but I hopped on some Elden Ring and helped Desmond kill Rennala. And we also killed a magma worm over by the Altus Lift. It's the one down in the ravine. There's a nighttime horse boss, one of those... I can't remember what they're called. Night Riders? I don't know. They're the big bosses that only spawn in nighttime, and they're on horseback. If you don't know what that is, you haven't played Elden Ring. And then finally we end up going through the Poison Castle. That's just to the west of Altus Plateau. It's between Volcano Manor and Altus Plateau. If you've played Elden Ring, you know exactly what I'm fucking talking about right now. Can I get a hell yeah? No, it's crazy coming back to it after, like, I think I 100%ed it at the end of 2022? Or... Oh, shit. When did I fucking 100%? I could go look it up. Because I looked this up when we were playing. When I was playing with Desmond, I should say. I looked up what the exact date was, but now I can't remember. It was, 4 days after Christmas of 2022. December 29th, 2022 is when I 100%ed Elden Ring. What a fucking phenomenal game, by the way. Holy shit. I mean, not only... I think if I had to choose one, Dark Souls 1 is probably still my favorite Soulsborne. But I've never played Bloodborne, never played Demon's Souls, so either of those could take the cake if I tried them. I doubt it, but they could. there's a possibility. Dark Souls 2 is such a fucking weird game because I fucking love it and hate it at the same time. Dark Souls 1, there's not really a whole lot that I hate about it. It's just like one of the most fantastic games ever made. 3 is also pretty good. It just kind of feels like a lighter, more linear version of Dark Souls 1, I guess. 2 is just fucking insane, though. I couldn't really tell you one way or the other if I loved it or hated it, because I do both at the same time. Yeah. Anyways, we are re-experiencing Elden Ring with Desmond was the last entry. He's actually playing on a Xbox Series S this time. He played through the game first on his Xbox One, which was apparently just one of the fucking... It was, the game apparently ran fine, but like, to save resources, it really cuts down on, I think it's 30 FPS. If an enemy is like 40 feet or more from you, they just like turn into like a 3 FPS monster, which is like they're juddering all over the screen. Anyways, that's enough of Elden Ring talk, I guess. 12:55 p.m. Cyberpunk is so fun, man. I play a ton of it throughout the night. Question mark here for this entry. Before I go to sleep, I notice somebody streaming Skyrim in that new server I just joined. Specifically, I believe it was Flutter that was streaming. I start watching, join in, and start asking some questions about their experiences with Skyrim. They are a long-time fan, which is awesome. But after a bit, I do stop watching the stream and continue playing Cyberpunk while continuing to chat with them. After a while, though, I do get a little bit tired. I tell them I'm going to bed, and I hope that they have a good night. And that's it. That's all the entries for Sunday, March 15th. This episode's going super fucking long, by the way. So I'm going to try... I think I have like an hour and a half episode. It's like episode 1, I think, is just like an hour and a fucking half. Jesus Christ. Fucking yapper. Insane. Anyways, we're moving on. Monday, March 16th. This is set 60, day 4, and I don't know why, I just got a random pang of paranoia. I feel like somebody was approaching the house, but I just opened up the application to figure out where all of my family is at, and none of them are even close. So, I've still got quite a bit of fucking time to be loud! So that's cool. Anyways, wait, no, I think I'm going too far ahead. Wait, have I even said? Okay, apologies if I started it and didn't continue, but I'm just gonna go ahead and restart this day of entries. This is Monday, March 16th. Our first entry is set 60, day 4, 2:45 p.m. I wake up, I shit, I shower, I brush, and I lay in bed until I end up changing. I dress for work and drive in. I clock on after saying hi to Eugene, Ben, and Anna. I cook for a long-ass time until Ben leaves for supplies, so I end up covering the counter. Also, I chat a little bit in the new server I just joined while I'm at work. Nothing is giving me, like, bad vibes. They just all seem like really cool people anytime I reach out and talk with them. So that's cool. At 5:35 p.m. Anyways, work sucks today. I fucking hated it. Ben gave me some peace at certain points, which was nice. Could have been worse, I guess. I cook, clean, then I finally leave. Also, it could always be worse. I don't know why I said it could have been worse. That's just a fact. There's like it could pretty much always be worse. It's pretty easy to feel sorry for yourself, but at the end of the day, you could probably be... God damn, I can't fucking speak, dude. At the end of the day, you could probably be having a worse time. It's good to remember, at least for me personally. I'm not trying to say anything about anybody listening right now. I cook, clean, and finally end up leaving at some point during the day. My phone actually died today at work. I think it's the first time that my phone has ever died from lack of battery, while I've been working at this location. I was using it way too much, talking to the new server. I will say, though, that's not what I wanted to say. I will say, though, if I send more than, 2 messages every 5 or 10 minutes, I feel like I'm just being a fucking annoying piece of shit. So I do try to keep it to a minimum. I think I'm just thinking about it too hard, really, because they don't seem like the kind of people who would get offended that I sent, 10 messages in, 2 minutes. As long as it's not, every day, all day, I just don't go overboard with it, right? I think I'm just, thinking a little too hard about it, but that's what I do. It's kind of like my whole thing. Anyways, I leave work and drive home. I turn on my Xbox and I, again, debate joining the voice channel. I probably should, and I was invited while I was at work. I was just busy then, so I'm guessing it's an open invitation. But damn! I also just wanted to... I was in that mood where it's I think I just kind of want to be alone for a little bit here. But there's the other half of my brain that wants to continue meeting them. Can you tell I'm an overthinker? My brain is definitely a bad master to me. I do decide to play a little bit of Cyberpunk, see how I'm feeling in a bit. If I get maybe into a more sociable mood, I could join. At 1:55 a.m., I smoke a little bit of weed to get in the zone, and then I join the voice channel. Penny is there. I say hi. They are talking about music, and at one point, the group, the musical group 100 gecs is mentioned. Uh-oh. Sorry, Penny. Everyone starts dogging on it. Penny says that Penny is the bravest motherfucker here right now, and she just goes, I kind of like some of their songs. And they hard disagree. It's all playful. So nobody's actually getting fucking flamed on for real, but she doesn't. They ask her what her favorite album was from 100 gecs, and she starts thinking about it, and I was just like, oh god, Penny, no, don't say it, you're gonna get fucking flamed. And she's like, you know what, you're right, I'm just gonna send it to you, Fulcrum. Got it. Also, can I be honest, it does not feel normal to fucking say Fulcrum in a normal conversation, or when I'm just talking about my journal entry and I have to mention myself. Saying Fulcrum is so fucking weird. And I tried there to play it off like it was normal, but it felt so weird saying it. I just had to comment on it. But anyways, Penny sends me her favorite album from 100 gecs. And because I'm an idiot, I'm a fucking dipshit, I'm looking at it on my phone, and I think on your phone, when somebody sends an album from Spotify, the little phone notification or the phone layout doesn't actually, I don't think it said 100 gecs. I'm gonna go and double check and make sure that I'm not being fucking insane right now. I need to just right here. Yeah, okay, so I'm looking at it in the Discord chat right now. I'm looking at my DMs with Penny. It just says Spotify 1000 gecs, and that's all it says for the link. So I figured my shitty ass brain just immediately was like, oh, everybody's been saying it wrong. The group is actually 1000 gecs. So I immediately just go into the voice channel. I'm just like, oh, 1000 gecs. Because I thought I had been mishearing, or people had been misspeaking. But nope, that's just the name of one of their albums. And I fucking outed Penny, which is dope. It was pretty funny. So moving on, I do a Spotify blend with Fluttershy, Penny, and a new person I think I met them the first night I joined the server, but we're going to be calling this person Julian. He's a very deep-voiced black man who is not afraid to call you a hard R. I kind of wanted to say it right there, but nah, I'll keep it clean. Although I'm absolutely not opposed to saying it. I think it's a pretty funny word. I can't lie. About as funny as horse porn. Oh man, I need to stop referencing that. I just can't help myself, though. We all talk for a while longer until Fluttershy asks me and Penny if we want to play Rivals. Penny has to work extra early, so she takes off to go to sleep, but I end up loading up Rivals, and I hope I do all right. It's been like half a year, I think, maybe more, like 7-8 months since I've played Rivals last, and I also never got a feel for it, so I do warn them before the first match starts that I will most likely be at the very bottom of the leaderboard. We do play a few games. I wanted to play Cloak and Dagger, but I could not find them, or maybe they were selected by somebody else, I can't remember. So, eventually I swap over to Punisher. He's a pretty basic character. He just has a gun that shoots. He also has like a turret mode, kind of like, I think Bastion from Overwatch also has a turret mode, sort of similar to that. He's not bad. I do okay with that character. I'm actually not on the bottom of the leaderboards, I don't think. It's I don't exactly know how the leaderboards in Rivals work. I don't know if it puts you like in ranked position, like the best on the team is at the top and the worst of the team is at the bottom of the leaderboard, or if it's just like the player order from whoever joined or loaded in. I really have no idea. So, excuse me, I had to cough right there. I do okay with Punisher. I don't think I'm on the bottom of the leaderboard. I had some fun. Julian ends up hopping off, and I decide at that point to get back onto Cyberpunk. There's a lot more shit I have to do in Cyberpunk, so it's very similar to, honestly, it seems like The Witcher 3, because there's so much stuff to do in Witcher 3, and I'm not gonna lie, I think I should have probably kept Cyberpunk when I got it for Christmas 6 years ago. It's 5.5 years ago. Slowly, people do end up trickling out of the voice channel to go to bed until it's me, Fluttershy, and T left for the rest of the night. Flutter ends up starting a Skyrim stream, and I help her through some quests. I believe she was going through some Dragonborn quests from the Dragonborn DLC. She needed help with the Bloodskull Blade, although it might not have been that same night. That might have been a different night. Whatever. She oh, excuse me. She asks for some assistance completing her Skyrim quests, so I load up the wiki and Google everything until she makes it through the quest. And I, at the same time, still playing Cyberpunk. I do make some chicken tenders at some point, and as I leave to go and grab them out of the air fryer, or I'm like, oh, they're done, I gotta go get them, and Flutter is like, okay, I think I'm gonna say goodnight and go to bed. And I was like, that's cool. Sounds good. God damn, we're about to break an hour, and I'm only getting to day 5 of my entries. This is fucking nuts. That's it for that day's entries. At some point, I just crawl into bed and go to sleep, as usual. Moving on, this is Tuesday, March 17th, set 60, day 5. At 3:30 p.m., I wake up, I shit, I shower, I brush, and I get ready to take my car in. I set up an appointment a few days ago to replace that panel that had fallen off. My dad meets me at the dealership, and we drive back to the house together, or he drives me back, I guess. I play Cyberpunk until my car is ready for pickup. There we go. 5:50 p.m., I drive it back home after my dad drops me off at the dealership. Then I play some more Cyberpunk. Also, I was going to journal something odd that happened today, but I can't remember now that I am in the journaling, or at least I was. I chat a little bit with the new server about Red versus Blue, which maybe might have been what I was thinking about, but it kind of feels like it was something a little more interesting than that. It was definitely like I hadn't started any entries yet until that point, and something happened in the day on, what was this, Tuesday? On Tuesday, a couple days ago, something happened in the day, and it made me think like, oh, I gotta write that down. I got a journal that just happened. But I opened my journal, and I don't have shit written out for like the entire first half of the day. I still have to write all that, so what I need to do is just what I've already done, actually, is I started up a new notepad in my phone. And if anything ever like this happens again, where it's like, oh man, I need to journal something, but there's so much shit I have to journal before I can get to this one thing, I'll just like swap over to that notepad, jot down like 1 or 2 sentences about what it was that happened, so that I actually have a place to pull it from when I need to put it into the journal. I'm probably never going to fucking remember to open the notepad, but then again, when I started this podcast, I said I'm probably never going to fucking remember to upload all of these on time, and I don't think I've missed a single Friday yet, which is kind of insane. It's fucking dumb that I care so much about this, but we're over an hour now, so I'm going to stop trying to get into tangents and maybe just finish this cunt off. That poor phrasing, but, you know, you get what I'm going for. I feel like it was something more interesting than just red versus blue being talked about in a server, so I'm just going to move on to the next entry, 7:25 p.m. I spend way too long figuring out what I forgot to journal. It's gone. It's not here. It's nada. Absolutely forgotten about. At some point, I hop into the new voice channel and play some Cyberpunk for a little while longer. At 3 a.m., Penny joins soon after. She doesn't join at 3 a.m. This is when I was journaling. At 3 a.m. is when I entered this journal. Penny joins soon after into the voice channel. Then Flutter and T. We all talk for a while until Penny takes off. I talk with Flutter and T for the rest of the night, but I do leave a few times to grab some drinks, make a pizza, blah, blah, blah. Eventually, I leave the call and I get ready to go to bed. Ooh, okay. We're making our way through. We might actually fucking finish this episode sometime today. That would be epic. This is Wednesday, March 18th. We're moving straight into the next day of entries. Set 60, day 6, 11:15 a.m. I wake up, shit, shower, brush, and lay in bed until I change for work. I do notice someone in the new Discord was crying last night. That sucks. It's unfortunate. I should have said something, but I didn't. It had been like 5 hours since the message was sent, so I feel like, you know, not a huge sin. No, there's a better word than sin now that I'm thinking of. Not grievance. Maybe grievance? Not a huge grievance? I don't know. Who cares? Move on, Fulcrum. Holy shit. I should have said something. I didn't. Eventually I did. I sent a GIF, which may have been worse than not saying anything, but I don't know. I change for work and drive in. I say hi to Rich, Bernard, and Eugene until I clock on and replace Bernard so that he can go home and relax. There we go. I feel like I just wanted to get another take on that one. 12:40 p.m. Also, one of my friends with benefits wants to have some sex tonight. Woo! I say okay, but I want to be home a little bit earlier than usual. And I keep on working. 2:20 p.m. Rich is getting us a new case to store our hot food items in. A guy brings it in and installs it for us. Rich ends up cooking to stay away from the counter for a little bit. He was feeling a little bit too burnt out on Wednesday, I guess, yesterday, from when I'm recording this. Also, I do match with a friggin' baddie, a goth baddie. That's what I journaled. I think I could have probably journaled something a little bit more cultured, but while I'm at work, I get a new match on one of my apps. I show Rich, and he's all like, damn, because I guess he thinks she's cute too. 2:35 p.m. My fucking chain bracelet snapped off while I was working. It freaked me out, but thankfully I did find all of the pieces and collected them. and decided to fix it when I got home because I didn't want to fucking drop it again and lose some more shit at work. Moving on though, 4:30 p.m., I scuff my shoe up while I'm trying to fucking clean it off, trying to clean some gunk off of it at work. Fuck my life. I actually really like these boots. I shouldn't wear them anywhere near my fucking place of work. They're way too nice to be worn just in some fucking grease pit like that. But me and Rich wait for Rich's replacement. They are an hour late. But Rich finally takes off, and I keep cooking until I complete a small and simple task that Rich asked me to do before he leaves. Oh my god, I keep fucking burping, bro. Shit. Question mark for this entry. Eventually, I clock off of work and get home. And then I smoke a little bit of weed before streaming in the new Discord, playing Cyberpunk. Soon a person that we are calling Whittle. That's what I decided to name them. Wittol. Whittle. He joins and we talk for a little while. He says that he's got some chores to do and says goodbye a little while after. Eventually, Penny does join after he leaves, and Penny is shortly followed by another. Good lord. Let's call this next person Jackson. Flutter joins after Jackson, and they invite me to play some Rivals. They invited Penny as well. I accept the invitation. Penny declines, and she decides to watch my stream of Rivals. Honestly, kind of the big brain move. If I would have had half a brain, I would have just said, I think I want to keep playing Cyberpunk. But, I don't know, there's a little piece of my brain that goes like, it's so rude. It's so rude to deny them your fucking presence. Especially when, for the past year and a half, you've been trying to find people that will do exactly this. So it's like, sometimes you just gotta submit and see where it goes. Which is what I did. I loaded up Marvel Rivals. I think there's no S in Marvel in the game's title. I don't care though. I play Cloak and Dagger for a couple of games, and then I end up swapping to The Thing. I fucking suck dick as a tank. I kept getting shit on, or at least that's what it felt like, so I did end up going back to Cyberpunk after that match. I played one match as The Thing, and I was like, yuck. Until I leave the voice channel. I do tell everybody I've got some plans with someone else tonight, and they immediately call me on it and say that I'm going on a date. They're like, "Ooh, you got a hot date?" And I was like, maybe. I'm not gonna lie though, date is a pretty tame word for what ended up happening. We just bumped uglies, you know? Had some sex. Yeah. Before we actually have any sex though, I think I forgot to say it, but I end up taking off and driving over to her place. Yeah, I do watch her not stream. I watch her screen. There you go. Of her playing Borderlands 4 before we do anything sexual. It actually looks good. Borderlands 4, not gonna lie, gameplay seems pretty tight. Anyways, I take some of her Starry Zero sodas from her fridge home with me, because she said she fucking hates them. Apparently a friend brought them over, and they didn't realize they were zero sugar until they started opening them and drinking them. And now there's just like 8 cans of zero sugar that have been sitting in her fridge for a while. And I was like, fuck, I don't mind the taste. I'll take a couple home. And she's like, take as many as you want. So I took 2 cans and half of a emptied can, or half of a full can, half of a can that I'd been going through. Whatever. Yeah, I get back home, make some chicken tenders, eat those, and I almost end up joining the new voice channel. But after I'm done eating and yada yada yada. I realize everyone is already out. I hop over into one of these servers that I share with Jack, and I listen to Fuckface as I play more Cyberpunk until I get too tired and crawl into bed. Many such cases. Moving on, though, this is going to be Thursday, March 19th, the final day of entries. Oh my god, we're an hour and fucking we're over an hour and 10 minutes into this. Shit. Let's fucking get a move on. Set 60, day 7 at 2:55 p.m. I wake up, shit, shower, brush, and try to wake up a little more while laying in bed. I listen to Fuckface. I am almost to the transition point where they go from making Fuckface episodes to making Regulation podcast episodes. I can briefly explain, I guess, for those unfamiliar. There's a company known as Rooster Teeth that was paying for the podcast known only as Fuckface to be produced. They were paying the hosts to be there, paying the editors to edit the episodes, and so on and so forth, obviously. But Rooster Teeth, the company, ended up going bankrupt, and they decided, the core group of hosts and individuals involved with the Fuckface podcast, they all decided that, I think this is what happened. I'm not 100% sure. I think I'll learn more on a second listen through, as long as I actually fucking listen this time. They decided that the Regulation podcast would just be a much friendlier name for sponsors to attach themselves to. Because, well, you gotta get paid somehow. And the easiest way to do that with a podcast is typically through ad reads and stuff like that. But if they're working independently and they don't have like a big old company behind them to help find sponsors, having the name Fuckface would definitely, I think, hurt their chances at getting as many sponsors as possible. But yeah. Anyways, I change for work when it's time, and then I drive in, say hi to Anna, and clock on. Start cooking. Anna fucking pisses me off throughout the day, but she finally leaves after a while, and Rich ends up replacing her. I talk to him about our Cyberpunk playthroughs. He couldn't remember Brendan, which, funnily enough, I think I found Brendan, the talking vending machine in Cyberpunk. I found him during one of my streams where Penny was watching, I think. And I was just like walking around, and I noticed there's this vending machine with a face. I walked up to it, and it just started talking to me. But apparently Rich totally forgot that his name was Brendan. I was like, Yo, Rich, I just did Brendan's side quest last night. I don't know why I said it like that. I didn't mean to say it like that. I just did Brendan's side quest last night. And Rich is like, Brendan? Who the fuck is Brendan? And he just didn't remember his name. He also, apparently, he hasn't completed the side quest. Because the last thing he mentioned to me about Brendan was, yeah, I just went back to where Brendan was sitting, and there was just a girl crying there, talking about how she loved Brendan so much. And I was like, oh yeah, there's another quest marker on your map. You gotta go find Brendan. So that'll be fun for him to experience that. Moving on though, 5:50 p.m., I clock off, I drive home, and I realize there is nobody there, so I get ready to record the podcast. So I can use my outside voice. It's so good. Also, I just want to say the song Afterlife from the Cyberpunk soundtrack absolutely fucking slaps. You should go listen to Afterlife from the Cyberpunk soundtrack if you have not already heard it or are not familiar with the work. Anyways, fucking finally done talking about my journal. Holy shit. One of the longest episodes in a while. And of course, there's a fucking timer that goes off on my phone. Oh my god. Shittiest podcast ever, by the way. Yeah, I guess we're just gonna do the outro now after that horrendous interruption. This week's rating is like an 8. I'd say like an 8. Definitely could have gone better in some ways. Like, I probably shouldn't have sent the horse porn. I think I'm pretty clear on that. But, dude, I got invited to Penny's new server, and I'm just like fucking loving it. It's so incredible. I'm not gonna lie, I'm vamping right now so I can check how many words I've journaled so far because I forgot to write it down. Currently, it looks like I have written 89,814 words. That is incredible. Look at that. Anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and end it now. Am I really making a podcast or am I just jerking off